on 9/11. A lot of people have called me, have written me, and have praised this guy. So on our guest line, it's a real honor to welcome Nick Haros Jr. to the Mike Gallagher Show. Thank you, Mr. Haros, for joining us. How are you, sir?
Thank you, sir, Mr. Gallagher. Thank you for reaching out. I'm very happy to be speaking with you today.
Well, we were so touched by your comments. For all of us, 9/11 is pretty tough. I can't imagine what a survivor like you goes through. You lost your mom. You shouldn't have. She was, frankly, as President Trump put it yesterday, the thousands of victims were robbed from us. It has to be a very tough day for you every year.
Well, the more interesting thing for me is you mentioned that I'm a survivor, but I also worked in the tower, would have been on the 90th floor that day, but was called away the night before for a meeting in Baltimore. So, yeah, I'm a survivor, but something's to be said for survivor's guilt.
Well, of course, and also resentment over those who minimize what happened that day. And the reason you've become so important to so many people is you put a voice to the real resentment we feel at people like Ilhan Omar, who callously said some people did something that obviously struck a nerve with you.
Yes, sir. I don't remember where I was when I heard those words, but they were like a knife in my heart, my family, and I'm sure to many other Americans who lost loved ones. I want to make it clear that my remarks were as a wounded son. Some people have commented through Facebook that those were racist remarks. I just want to clear the record. My comments had nothing to do with a woman of color, a member of the Democratic Party, a Muslim. My specific concern was as an elected member of Congress representing the American people, that as such and such standing, there should have been some sorrow, sympathy, empathy expressed, etc., and that's what I felt needed to be called attention to.
Well, and as it turned out, Congresswoman Omar did tweet a very poignant, emotional, passionate accounting of 9/11. I wonder if your remarks had anything to do with that.
Well, from what I understand, I didn't catch the remarks live, but from what others have told me, her comments appeared after my remarks.
Right. So maybe you motivated her to have some humanity over this terrible event that happened. I mean, it's hard for me, even this week, and I don't know if you caught this or not, but the New York Times published a tweet. They posted a tweet that essentially said, on September 11th, airplanes were aimed at the towers. Like the planes did it. They don't even mention the radical Islamic extremist terrorists who did what they did to us. Have you felt that there is this unwillingness to call this out for what it has been, and that is radical Islamic terrorism against the American people?
Yes, sir, and this has been an issue for many years in the past administration. Islamic terrorists were never used in the same sentence.
Right.
Since then, I think there's been an outcry for an accountability. And what I failed to mention and remind people yesterday that in just 2 years, KSM will be in Manhattan, finally facing charges after 20 years for his masterminding of the crime.
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, after 20 years, finally justice. I believe with all of my heart that your mom, that those who were lost that day, all of us need warriors like you. And it had to take a lot of guts to stand there with that T-shirt, because I'm sure you got some pushback. Well, it's not the appropriate venue to do that. I happen to think it was a perfect venue for that, and I'm glad for your voice, and I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, sir. I agree to that. I'm not a politician. I don't have a public voice, but at least on that day, and the fact that you may know the reading is a lottery system. I was fortunate to be called, and I really felt it was one my day with some amount of credibility and standing.
No question.
To make those comments, but not as a politician. But as a patriotic American, both for my voice, my mom's voice, and all the people who died in their families.
God bless you. Thank you for your voice, and keep fighting the good fight. I appreciate you joining us today, sir, for taking a few minutes out of your schedule. Nicholas Haros Jr. He also runs an online Catholic organization, I understand, called Facebook Apostles. You might want to check that out, but many, many thanks to him for his voice. I appreciate you very much joining us. Listen, there is a war for America's soul going on, a radical socialism, the problem of illegal immigration. Phoenix is going to be the place for you to be Thursday, September 26th. I'm going to be on stage along with Michelle Malkin, Larry Elder, Sebastian Gorka, Seth Liebson. We're going to be at the Scottsdale Center for the Performing Arts. If you want to get tickets, they're going fast. Don't put this off. Go to 960thepatriot.com. There's a VIP meet and greet ticket availability. There's general admission. Don't miss it. Come out and join us September 26th. The War for America's Soul. For tickets, 960thepatriot.com, 960thepatriot.com.